What were some of those things in that blog?
It was the simple power of writing down your goals.
Okay.
And how that feels small, but it's actually really powerful because it's like a contract with yourself. You actually build accountability and you make it real. So you take something that doesn't exist and now it's suddenly real.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only a reminder that it exists, but it's a step in the direction of accomplishing it. And it also forces you to slow down and think about what you want. And then the other thing that we did, and this was just by accident, which ended up being a very important piece of the puzzle, was then we actually talked about it. We actually shared it. We actually actively went out on the road, went on the radio, talked with strangers, and shared it with each other of these dreams that we had. And that started to build this accountability that would drive us towards achieving that thing. And by sharing it, it gave other people the opportunity to help us. And that was the X factor, was what we didn't expect, was that strangers would hear about this bucket list road trip and actually want to help us.
Interesting.
So then all of these emails started trickling from strangers saying, I can help you ride a bull. I can help you get up on a hot air balloon. I can help you make a toast to a stranger's wedding. And then sending us their dreams. Be like, oh, can you guys help me do this? Can you help me do that? So the road trip back in 2006 was only supposed to be a 2-week road trip where we made a short film, showed our friends, went back to school. But what unexpectedly people wanted to help and thought, oh shit, we should keep doing this. So we did it the next summer and the next summer. But if we never shared it, we never would have given opportunity to others to help us. And what I've realized is that people don't share their dreams because they're afraid.
Sometimes I find that, there's knowledge out there that sharing your dream makes you less likely to put in the work to actually achieve them. And you get this like dopamine rush by telling someone that like, I want to run a marathon or I want to do this big audacious goal. And people are like, yeah, that's great. And outside of the fact that they help you, sometimes they just like acknowledge and validate that that's an awesome thing and that would be so great. Psychologically, that fills you up with a little bit of dopamine that makes you potentially less likely to put in the work. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? And is there a limit? Is it like there are particular times to share it, there's particular times to not share, or do you advocate for like tell as many people as often as you can?
I think you can be intentional about the way that you share and the people that you share these dreams with. And you can even go a step further and ask them to keep you accountable or create an accountability system so that the sharing drives you forward. So, if I tell you I'm going to run a marathon and I say, do you want to run it with me? I'm going to be more likely to achieve it because you're going to be showing up at my door to run at 6 a.m. And even if I don't want to, I'm going to go because I'm not going to let you down. Or if I tell you I want to run a marathon and I say, I want you to track my miles, or, I've got this running app and I want you to sort of check my progress. I'm going to send this update to you once a week, or you're going to check in on me once a week. That also will drive you forward. You're 77% more likely to achieve your goal if you send regular updates to an accountability buddy. So the accountability piece is huge, which is why you feel more likely when you share your goal with someone, because then you feel accountable to that person. So if I tell you on this, or I say on this podcast, and you ask me, what's my goal next year, 2024? And I say, I'm going to write a book. That's my goal. And then I bump into you next year and you're like, oh, how's the book coming? I'm like, oh shit, I better start writing that book. You can use that thing that stops you, which is the fear of what other people think, to your advantage, because you don't want to look bad. So you do the thing. So that's one of the other powerful things about sharing your goals, is you then feel accountable. The more people you share, the more accountable you feel. So if I tell you right now and there's no cameras running, I'm still going to feel accountable. But if I say it on the podcast, I'm going to feel a little more accountable. Yeah. So I think, there is this school of thought where you want to keep your ideas close to the vest and you don't want to let that energy out. You kind of want to work behind closed doors and then release it, or, you don't want to disperse that. You also, when you share, you're at risk, right? Because people will be like, dude, you already wrote a book. Like, why do you want to write another book? Like, shouldn't you be focusing on content or speaking or whatever? Or them just saying, you can't, that's a dumb idea.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're being vulnerable. And that's why a lot of people don't share, is because they're afraid of that. They're afraid of what other people will think, or if they will fail. Like they're afraid people will see them as failures if they don't do it. So I haven't experienced in my life that the more I share, the less likely I am to do it. I think that can be the case for some people, I'm sure, but I think there's a greater upside. And if you do feel like that's a risk, then just be intentional. Share with people that can keep you accountable.
Right.
People that also are supporters of you in this dream,
Mm-hmm.
that build you up, that want you to succeed, that might be able to help you, asking for help. And I think you'll find if you share with those people, that will actually like drive you towards the goal.